it's Moyana. Welcome back to my channel. Um, just had a message I wanted to get out that I've been thinking about lately. And if you hear some music in the background, don't mind me. It's my neighbors across the street, always jamming. But enjoy the music. So I entitled this video, "It's Okay to Not Be Okay." And what inspired this is just kind of just what's recently been going on with me on my journey, things that I've been noticing, and then I've been getting signs from like a few other places saying similar things, having the same like the similar message. So I was like, okay, well, I might as well go ahead and put my spin on it. Peace. Hey, love, how are you? So I entitled this, "It's Okay to Not Be Okay." And it was kind of inspired. I don't even know if inspired is the right word to use, but we're official, I guess we're out of fall. We may still be in fall season, but we've moved from Scorpio to Sagittarius and Western astrology and whatnot. But ultimately, this time of year, it's very common for people to start mentioning things like seasonal depression and saying, seasonal depression is real and it's okay to be down and not cheery for the holidays. But simply put, like, there's a reason why, and I agree, seasonal depression is real. For me, I went through a heavy depression for a while. I spoke about it in one of the videos on my channel called "From Depression to Divinity." I'm great, love. I'm happy to see you still up and moving and doing your videos. But yeah, I battled with depression for a while, and I will confidently say I beat it, but I'm still being cleared out. And by that I mean, for these last couple weeks, like there was a switch in my mood, in my energy, in everything. Like I started resorting to like some old habits. My diet has been horribly off. Eating junk food, eating meat, just off. But I was just like, well, fuck it. That's what I feel like doing, so I'm gonna do it. Like I go to work, I come home, I smoke, get the munchies, eat, and go to sleep like stupid early, like 8 o'clock, and just sleep through the night and wake up the next morning, go to work, do it all over again. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I be tossing and turning, but ultimately that's the vibe I've been on for these last couple weeks. Very kind of low vibrational, so to speak, but it's just what it's what it was. And I tried to force myself to get up and do this. You need to do that, and I need to be doing this. I need to do that, but I just couldn't muster the energy. And at some point, I was just like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna ride it out. I'm gonna ride the wave because there's a reason for everything, right? So I want to say maybe yesterday, I got off from work. No, yesterday was Friday. I'm off on Fridays, but I remember I just felt really just, I don't know, just kind of blah. It was a meh kind of feeling. And yeah, ride it and it'll pass. Like I remember like yesterday I was feeling blah, but I remember thinking to myself, but I'm not feeling down. Like I'm not sad like I used to be when I would go through these types of emotions. Laying in bed crying myself to sleep, crying when I woke up, my body hurting, and just saying all types of negative shit to myself. Like that wasn't what these last couple weeks were. It was just simply me almost just going through the motions of it. I don't feel like eating healthy. I don't feel like cooking dinner. I don't feel like trying to record videos. I don't feel like writing in my journal. Like I don't feel like doing any of this. I don't feel like going to work. That's the only thing I did because I had to, gotta pay the bills until I figure out how to get out of this game. But like I just remember like I wasn't feeling up to par. I wasn't feeling at my best, and I wasn't gonna fake it or pretend. I wasn't completely down and sad and just miserable. And that's how I know I've surpassed that level, that state of being, because I wasn't having those emotions, but the feeling was still there. So I just started just really thinking, and I saw in a couple other places, like maybe post on social media, maybe another video, but it's okay to not be okay. And I feel like a lot of times we beat ourselves up and we put ourselves down, and we put, like, the weight of the world is already so heavy, but sometimes we add so much unnecessary burden onto ourselves when we force ourselves to be in a state of mind that we're not in yet. Like, we can't embody what we haven't reached, or a frequency we're not at the moment. We can't, like, people say fake it till you make it, but you can't fake a frequency, if that makes sense. You can't fake a frequency that you're not currently vibrating on. And it speaks, even when I brought up the seasons and the astrology, like, we're in that time of year. We're in that year of the solar calendar, or how the cosmic calendar, like Scorpio season, Sagittarius season, Capricorn season. Shit, even Pisces. Yeah, 4 months, no, 3, normally 3. But going from fall to winter, like, Scorpio season is literally the sign of the underworld. It's the under, or the inner world, the internal world. When we went into Scorpio, that's why shit got heavy all of a sudden. And that's why maybe so-called seasonal depression is a thing. Is because that's just what we call it now in our human nature and our emotional nature and psychological realms. But ultimately, really what it is we're going through our own personal underworlds. We're treading the depths of our subconscious. And it's a time where shit that's been hidden for so long is now being revealed again, even with the veils being made thinner during this time of year. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you have veils in your being. There are veils that block off your subconscious mind from your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. Those veils are made thin too. So a lot of shit, feelings, thoughts, entities even that have been in your subconscious for so long, a lot of them are starting to surface. And that's what happens when we move into Scorpio season, or we go into the fall season. We're going deep. You're going deep within. And you can't fight that process, because that's where the hard work is. That's where the work needs to be done. Whatever's coming up or you're feeling at this time is for a reason. Like, it's something you need to further work on to just simply strengthen you. It's almost like a test. I don't know if I said it in one of my past videos, like, we were coming into testing seasons, like final exam season, to see, have you truly learned your lessons in certain circumstances that you needed to learn to show, or to prove, not necessarily prove, but to prove to the universe, the Most High Source, yourself, because you are the universe as well, to prove that you're ready to move on to something higher. That's all that it is, and all that it was. So ultimately, you'll never truly know if you're past a certain level unless you experience that level with a new perspective, if that makes sense. Like, me going through this last couple weeks showed me that I have beat what I once suffered from, or what once defeated me. Like, I beat it. Like I said, I wasn't in my room these last 2 weeks just crying my eyes out and just talking shit on myself and just feeling down and worthless. I just went through the motions. I didn't fight it. I didn't resist it. And I didn't judge myself for it. Like, I just experienced it. I observed. That's what we're here to be. We're here to be the observers. We're not here to get attached. It's so easy to get attached to all our emotions, but we don't realize we're not the emotions. We shouldn't be identifying with the emotions, including the good ones. We're just here to experience them and learn from them. Our emotions are our own personal teachers. It teaches us who we are, what we like, what we don't like, where we should go, where we shouldn't go, or how we're feeling in a certain environment, how we feel from a certain thought. It's just literally, it's like the thermometer. It's your own personal thermometer to tell you how you're feeling and whatnot. So, like, this whole love, light, and peace, and like this vibe and this trend, this is how it truly, it separates those that are really doing the work. Oh, thank you, love, thank you. It separates those that are really here doing the work to transcend all this humanly earthly bullshit, this material bullshit that'll fade away. Can you truly transcend the illusions? It separate. We're being like, it's a major shift in consciousness. Now I remember even feeling that at some point, maybe a couple months ago, that I know that the Gregorian calendar is off, but definitely when we fully hit into Age of Aquarius, it's gonna be a major like a split in consciousness. Consciousness is being split for real, for real. Like those that are ready to vibrate higher, and those that may have to play this game for a little while longer. We're gonna see it very soon, probably when the 2020 year hits. Yeah, we're gonna see it's a major shift in consciousness, because I noticed the difference. Even though I've been eating bad, I haven't allowed me to feel bad. Yeah, like all the guilt tripping and the feeling bad and beating yourself down, like that's some more ego. That's literally just your ego. We're supposed to be transcending our ego. Like the ego, our ego needs to submit to our divinity. That's one of my affirmations. Or my ego submits to my subconscious. So in giving my subconscious the power, it shows me everything that I need to see, everything that I am, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, whatever. I need to see it all, because those are all aspects of me. The dark side of me is what births the light side of me. That love and light shit, really, no. Because only from darkness can you get light. From nothingness comes somethingness. And so on and so forth. And when anybody like that is just, there's just love and light all the time, they fucking lying. Like, and it's not real, but it's further feeding the illusion. It's further feeding your own personal beast as well. Because if you don't give that time and attention and start shedding a little bit of light on your shadow little by little, it's just going to grow. It's going to continue to grow. And it's dark. It's darkness. Therefore, it holds a negative energy, a negative charge. So it's going to continuously draw in. It's going to be consuming everything around. And the shadow is just you. So you're going to keep consuming things and drawing things into you and affecting your environment in that way, because you haven't dealt with the parts of you that run your reality, that run and create and shape your reality as you see it. So it's okay, like, to not be okay. You need to feel all aspects. We're here to feel like we are the universe or source experiencing itself in human form. This is infinite. There's no beginning nor end. There isn't just love and light. There's some darkness, and there's some sadness. There's plague. Like there's burden. Like you can't truly. I'ma keep saying it. You can't enjoy. You need something opposite in order to know what that is. I know I didn't say it right, but in order to truly classify something and to understand the essence of something, you need its polar opposite to stand against it, to reflect against it. You need sadness to know what happiness is. You know what I mean? You need pain and sorrow to understand what joy is. It's just like on the number line, the line. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just like a number line, -1 and +1. Two different values, but the absolute value in math, when you put the number in between the two lines, all that means is the space away, how far it is away from zero being neutrality. In spirituality or metaphysics, zero will probably it represents the nothingness. It's the all, it's the everything in one. So you can either go forward positively one space, or you can go negatively and go backwards, retreat a little bit one space. It's still the same value, 1 away from 0, but you just went in two polar opposites. They're just dual in nature. And you need the opposite, and we're here to experience it. Like it doesn't do us any good for the opposite or the opposing force to exist if we don't observe it, if we don't integrate that into our being. That's how we expand. We expand in all directions. Again, not just going up or forward, which is deemed to be the good stuff, forward and upward looking to the sky, but you have to go downward as well, and you have to go backwards. And I was just talking to my homie today, Mr. Bandclap. Shout out to Bandclap TV. Y'all go subscribe to him. But we were both saying, like, there are times where we feel like we move forward and we just get knocked back. And it's just like, because, and you know, the information and energy travels in the shape of a spiral. It doesn't just go straight up or down. It's a spiral. And it's not even just a circle. Like, if you look down on a spiral, it looks just like a circle. But until you gain a new perspective and you kind of come to the side of it, then you see that it's either going upward or downward, but it's still traveling in this circular motion. And you can choose whether you ascend or you descend. But like, we're in a video game. We should know this. We're in a simulation. And until you beat the bosses and all the enemies and the boss on one level, you can't move on. But even when you do transcend to a new level in the video game, before you get to your new enemies and your new boss, it's almost like a recap at the beginning of the next level. And what it does is it brings back those old enemies that you beat before in the previous level. Those are the first enemies that you see off rip. But it's okay. Why? Because you already beat them. You already know how to defend yourself against those enemies. You already know already know what weapon to use, what skill to use or ability to use, how to overcome it. That's why that's what that is when you get knocked back those steps, or when you go back a little bit and you're in a moment like me in these last couple weeks where you experience a mood or a certain environment or something that you've been in that wasn't so great before. You get knocked back to that because you have to experience it again just to see, like, did you really gain the strength that you needed to overcome this? That's all it is. The same old shit being thrown at you to test to see if you're really ready, because the new enemies or the new circumstances or the new situations that come are going to be a little bit more challenging. They're going to be a little bit more heavy on you. So we need to make sure the endurance is up. It's like spiritual endurance, spiritual weight training. Ultimately, my metaphor, my way of describing coming to earth is like, this is a gym. Some people say it's a school, some people say it's a prison, some people say it's a playground for the gods. I say it's just a gym. Like, being human is just weightlifting for the soul. Like, our soul has to, like, the density is heavy, these human vessels are heavy, gravity is heavy down here. Like, we're here to overcome and transcend all this heaviness and this density, like, to get stronger. Our soul is getting stronger. Again, our soul is just a piece of the all, the most high source, whatever you want to call it, that divine spark within all of us, or all of us that have a soul. So when you block being upset, or when you block being sad, when you block having your depressive episode, when you block experiencing these feelings, you block half of the experience off that you need to transcend, that you need to strengthen. You cutting corners on your gym time. You know what I'm saying? Pain doesn't feel, lifting weights or getting stronger doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to go to the gym or to work out. It doesn't feel good to stay up all night studying and cramming information. It doesn't feel good if you're like the music playing. If you're a singer, it doesn't feel good to be singing for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours until your jaw starts to hurt or your throat gets sore. I used to be in band. It didn't feel good to practice hours and hours. My lips would go numb because I played saxophone. My lips would go numb. My fingers would get cramped. Like, it doesn't feel good to do it, but it produces good results. It produces what you need, and that is strength. You need the dark times in order to seep through and find that light that is within you, to find that strength that's hidden in these dark times. Hard times builds character. It builds strong character. But if you constantly resist that what you think is not good, then, like, how are you truly going to strengthen yourself? You know, it's like, don't let nobody guilt trip you out of feeling bad. Let me say that. It's like, Don't let nobody do that. Don't let nobody make you feel guilty that you don't feel 100 at the moment. It's okay. Your energy is going to be depleted sometimes. Your mood is going to be bad sometimes. Like, it's okay. It's okay to experience. That's part of humanity and human nature. And keep smelling rosemary. And maybe. I love rosemary. I've been thinking about rosemary lately. My roommate has like a rosemary plant outside. But it's just like, it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be sad. And I remember, I even think like that's half the battle when people experience depression, and it's become its own entity, because so many, like this realm, the society that we live in now, it literally breeds depression is created, and I see it going through it. And that's like even an example right there. Is like, I can talk about this shit now because I've been through it. I've been through that heavy ass time, so I notice it. Like, I can see it. We talk about it, especially like melanated people in the Black community. We don't see fucking depression. We ignore that shit, or we laugh it off, or we joke it off. And like, people can't see it because they don't know that that's what it is. And I've seen it. I've faced it. I've battled it. I've gotten through it. So much so that I could have moments and not be consumed by it. And I can see it. I see it everywhere now. It's too many people walking around here going through depression or being stifled by this entity that we've given so much power without realizing it. Like, we really don't realize it. But that's another thing for another day. I might just make another video about depression. But ultimately, so we're here for this human experience, okay? 360 degrees in a circle, 720 for the spirit. We're here for the entire experience, like the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. We're here to experience it all. You experience the good to constantly raise your vibration. You experience the not so good to learn a lesson. Is a reason why it doesn't feel good. That's one thing I did. I sat this morning when I woke up and I realized, I haven't been feeling up to par. Like, this really has been happening. It's going on. I literally asked out loud in my room, like in my bed, just looking at the ceiling, like, okay, but why am I feeling this right now? Why is this coming around? Why is this happening right now? What am I being taught? I just asked the question. Simple as that. And I didn't just get any answer. Like, my birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm a Sagittarius. My birthday is December 4th. In Western astrology, in 13 sign, I'm Ophiuchus. But that's another whatever. But I just remember, like, why does this energy, why does it feel like this every year at this time of year, especially right before my birthday? Why am I always feeling this sadness right before my birthday? And it made me stop to think, well, maybe because I know my mom had issues with my birth, like maybe this has to deal with, it's a replaying of what went on when I was in the womb. Like, I didn't feel safe. Maybe I didn't feel whole or complete. Like, my own personal work that I had to dig deeper with, to find the answers. But ultimately, I would never know that there was something I could dig deeper. Like, me digging deeper for that answer is me trying to find the light in this dark period. That's what that is. Because once I dig in, once I get the answer, that answer is the light. I shed light on a part of myself that I was unaware of at the moment. And then once I get my answer, I can use that information to better myself on going forward. That's the whole point. Like, that's the whole lesson. Like, only from darkness can you get light, but you can never find that light if you refuse to go into your darkness. So ultimately, that's all I wanted to say. Like, it's okay to not be okay. Don't force yourself to pretend that you're happy, trying to please everybody else, especially for this holiday season. I know everybody's getting ready for the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you gotta be happy and cheerful. And if you're not, it is okay. Like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to not be okay. But make sure don't be consumed by those feelings. Don't wallow in it. Don't sit in it. Experience it. Ride the wave, as my beautiful friend said here in the chat. Ride the wave and it'll pass. It'll pass, but you have to allow it to pass. Once you become consumed by it, it can't pass. You're just going to be on that ride forever. You're going to be just riding that river. And there's like a little cutoff where there's a smooth stream that you could be floating on, but you choose to ride these rocky waves when you get consumed by it. So much so that eventually you get knocked out the boat and now you probably just drowning. Just experience it, question what you need to, and once you ask the question out loud, it's like almost, it's a ripple effect into the universe that this is what I'm seeking. This is the knowledge that I'm seeking. This is the information that I want to know. And when you send that request out into the universe, it has no choice but to send you back your answer. That's just how that works. What you put out comes back. You put out wanting to know a certain answer, eventually it'll come to you. You just have to be ready to acknowledge the answer once it comes. And then starts the cycle all over again. Once you get the answer, it may be something heavy. You face it, you extract what you need from it, and you leave the rest. You integrate that new information, that truth within your being. You use it to evolve even further, and you go forward. And then eventually, you're going to get cycled right back around to see if this new piece of information is really within you. Did you really learn what you needed to? And if you did, you're just going to keep moving forward. If you didn't, you're going to go through it again until you truly get what you need, until you truly learn your lesson. So, long story short, because I was on here longer than I wanted to say, or longer than I wanted to be, excuse me. Just, it's okay to not be okay. Experience what you need to in the moments that you need. Give yourself time. Give yourself patience. And do not judge yourself for feeling how you feel. Simply put, just ride the wave and do what you got to do. Peace, love. Do what you got to do. Do the work. Experience it. And then notice when it's time to shake it off. Just, all right, I haven't been acting like myself. I needed to go through that. Now I'm back on it. And keep moving forward. But please understand, these man-made dates and holidays from this man-made calendar ain't shit. And it can't do shit to affect what cosmically is happening. As above, so below. In the cosmos, we're in the underworld, we're traveling through. So down here, that's what's happening. If you can handle it like the G you are, because I know you can, you will come out better on the other side, especially in spring when things are reborn. But right now, you're in like hibernation mode or a gestation period in the womb, or however you want to describe it. You're just going through some shit to be ready to be better moving forward, especially in the spring. I will confidently say it'll all make sense in the spring. Okay? So, if you're not okay, it's okay. I love you. You're loved. Just keep going. That's all I can say. Just keep going. And it's always beautiful on the other side. All right? So,